I surely hope I don't give the wrong impression. Like, what am I trying to say? It's already obvious I'm not perfect, but I don't want to give anyone the impression that I think such. I don't want to project perfection of how my life is going. Uh, it's far from it. This car, I haven't even moved this car in months. It's not my car, but it needs to be worked on before it can be moved. So I just sit in it. Um, we talk a lot about uh, not being where you want to be. I think that's something that's never a thing unless you just um, increase your gratitude for where you already are. It's not like when you get to a certain destination, you stop and you're like, finally, I'm at the pinnacle that I have been working toward or waiting for. It's more like you get sick of expecting and seeking and chasing so that you just slow down, look around and think, you know what? I'm happy because I choose to be. But at the same time, there's stuff that sucks. I wonder why we use the term sucks. It's crazy because it's synonymous with blows, which are opposite. But perfectionism is like causing a lot of friction for me in um, creating what we call my dream. My dream. Perfectionism creates a lot of hesitation for me, overthinking. I really would like to be one of those people for just, even if it was just a day, who just do stuff without thinking. You know those people? They just do and don't think. Just give me one lucky day. And when I say lucky, I mean like I would want it to be where nothing goes so horribly wrong, where it's like um I cause a car accident, or you know I shoot off at the mouth, no pun intended, that ends up getting somebody shot or something. Anything crazy like that. I don't want to, puff my chest up at anybody who's going to shoot somebody. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, I want to have the audacity to just talk to anybody without the overthinking that has me thinking like, oh, what if their response is like this? Or what if? Like, I just want to go. Jump into action. There's this quote that I saved to my camera roll that goes, it's something like, um, the best muscle that you can build is a sense of urgency. Um, if you can decrease the time between when you have an idea and getting it done, everything changes. My justification, which ends up turning into an excuse, because these are two extremes. I live on one end of the extreme, and what I was just describing is the other extreme end of the spectrum. Is that I'll watch those people operate, and they'll make a lot of the mistakes that I would like to avoid. It's not that I don't want to make any mistakes, even though, like, my underlying perfectionism does try to avoid mistakes. But I'm logically aware that mistakes are necessary and they're okay. But as I observe those people, I always have like a justification, like, see, I wanted to avoid something like that. I would want to avoid something like that. And so it perpetuates this perfectionist mindset that if I go slow enough, I can meticulously build carefully. But it's taking, this is more than patience. There's patience, right? Balanced with that sense of urgency, the um what is it? There's something I wrote down to remind myself. I said combine your patience with a hunger for freedom, with a hunger for freedom. Because yeah, there's patience, but then there's, I could have swore like 30 seconds ago I was 4 minutes in. Um, there's patience, but then there's waiting too long. That's why Kambada said, a wise man once said, patience is a virtue, but time is a relentless force, and waiting too long can result in sheesh, I'm gonna start over. A wise man once said, patience is a virtue. I usually always get this right. But time is a relentless force, and waiting too long can result in you missing your opportunity to become God. I be waiting too long. I be waiting too long. I hesitate. I will sit there wanting to initiate a conversation with someone, and I will watch them leave and then regret it right afterward. That's where I'm at. I'm getting better, but I want this process to be a little, you know, I don't want to seem like I'm getting impatient now. It's just that I'm tired of having excuses and perfectionism under the guise of patience. It's kind of insulting to the principle of patience itself in the first place, because patience really is a virtue. But like I said, the extreme end of the spectrum, waiting for opportunities to, cross your path. This has always been a problem for me. Um, Everywhere in my life, I'm constantly learning the lesson of applying more pressure. a lot of people, when they have sons, they're worried about them being reckless, um, you know, taking risks. But I've always been like the opposite. And I definitely get that from my mom. But it's like a late blooming lesson for me to be stepping out of my comfort zone. And it's crazy because I've taken a lot of risks when learning certain things. But when it comes to creating the dream life that I want, too much of a perfectionist. My younger self was more of a risk taker because I wasn't thinking about getting hurt. Even though my younger self was way more antisocial. Um, yeah.